my name is Frankie Suckling and I study biology at Hills Road. What I love about biology is that you can relate it to everyday life. My favourite parts are definitely human biology because I'd love to study sports science at uni. Um, and what's so great about studying biology at Hills Road is there's so many talks you can attend to and there's so much support if you ever struggle.
I've personally really enjoyed biology this year. I think it's got a really friendly atmosphere, and although I didn't know anybody in my class to start with, I made new friends really quickly, which I think helps in any class you're in. There's plenty of support as well. So there's everything from resources online to special catch-up classes if you miss a lesson, um, and also the teachers are super friendly, so you can just go up to them, ask them for help, ask them for a bit of support if you've been struggling with the last couple of weeks of work or struggling at home doing homework and stuff. They'll be there to support you and help you through it if you let them know. There's also a lot of ways to further your learning in biology, so biology challenges. There's been two that I can think of so far: the Biology Olympiad and the Biology Intermediate Challenge. I've participated in one of them, and it's a really useful way of just furthering your learning, adding a bit extra to your CV, helping your biology knowledge, not necessarily directly related to the course, but your just problem solving skills and application skills when it comes to biology, which help with exams, obviously.
The lessons are really interactive and the teachers really motivate you to do the absolute best you can. There is an immense amount of support available. For example, there are lunchtime drop-in surgeries um, where any biology student can go to a classroom and get help from a teacher with any biology topic in the A-level biology curriculum. There are also lots of other opportunities available beyond the classroom. For example, there's the Intermediate Biology Competition and the Biology Olympiad, which students can partake in. Those would look really great on your UCAS application. There's also the Big Biology Day, which is held at Hills Road Sixth Form College, and is actually run by one of our biology teachers. Students can volunteer and help out with any exhibits taking place that day.
Studying biology at Hills Road has been a really amazing experience. We have really interactive lessons and a lot of engaging class discussions, which are they're really useful for the subject, but they also allow you to make friends with your classmates really quick, which is really nice. The support available at Hills Road is really great. We have a SharePoint site that's always updated and has a load of information about revision tools and anything you've been stuck on in class. And then there's also a lot of drop-in sessions that the head of biology runs, and they're really good if you've got stuck on something or you just need a second pair of eyes for a piece of work. But I think the best part about studying biology at Hills has been all the opportunities we've had outside the classroom. There have been talks nearly every week on a Friday from loads of different speakers covering many different topics. We've had Nobel laureates come in, which is amazing, and the topics have covered things like epigenetics and conservation, and there's been some medical development talks, and we even had a man come in who had had a double lung transplant, and it was incredible hearing his story about how he had cystic fibrosis and how medical science managed to save him.
Studying biology at Hills Road, obviously the teachers are amazing, they're very encouraging, especially during quarantine when we're all kind of stuck at home, we're not present there in the lab with them. They're still there if you've got a question, they're always eager to answer questions or chat with you about something you've learned outside of college, and yeah, they're literally just there to help. Also, the biology department hosts talks every Friday lunchtime, and there's a huge range of speakers. We've had Nobel laureates, people from the university, and they cover a huge range of topics as well. And it's a really good opportunity to expand the knowledge beyond the syllabus, and especially in terms of exams, they kind of suggest questions where the examiners don't expect you to know the answer, but having that kind of basic background understanding really helps you kind of approach those questions.
Inside of lessons, there are chances for you to kind of do like partner work and discuss different things with people around you. Also, if you're doing practicals as well, you'll get to work with different people as well as, you know, interacting, asking and answering questions in the teachers. I also like how the biology department do this thing called learning goals, which are like statements or things that you need to be able to explain at the end of each topic, which is a really good way of structuring your revision and structuring your learning, just to make sure you're not missing out on anything. Outside of lessons, there are things like surgeries, which are on lunch times. They're either taught or revision based, which are really good if you need to consolidate your learning, or if you've got an end of topic test coming up and you just want to go over some things, or just make sure that you're on the right track of where you need to go.
All of the lessons that the teachers deliver are engaging, they're welcoming, and all of the staff go really above and beyond to make your experience as good as it possibly can be. There's ample support available for you outside of lessons. You have Dr. Graham's drop-in workshops, you've got some taught surgeries, you've got journal club, and the visiting speakers is a particular highlight. We had 2 Nobel laureates in last year, and it's absolutely fantastic to see these people standing at the front of your classroom giving a talk on what is really fast-moving areas of science and research. The opportunity to use the botanical gardens for research purposes and to get a free pass there is always nice. And it's the atmosphere in the department, the fact that everybody is here to help you to do the very best you can in your exams, but also to become the very best biologist you can be. And sometimes, if that means having a 15-minute detour to talk about something else, we'll do that. And, you know, that's something that's really good and sets you up very well for university study.
What did I enjoy doing biology at Hills Road College? Firstly, I enjoyed the experiments. They were fascinating. They were mind-blowing, like seeing the organs in front of you. One thing we saw like a fish. We had the whole fish down. We had to cut it, the head, because we were studying the gills. So we had to cut the head and open the gills, look at them, put them in the water and separate the filaments and the lamellae, and then look at them with a microscope. It's crazy stuff, I know.
The biology department is really friendly and happy to help, and more than in my other subjects, I feel a part of the cohort as well as just my class. And that's got quite a lot to do with the Friday lunch talks, where outside speakers come in and cover a range of topics. And as I said, you're encouraged to attend, but I didn't really need much encouragement. There were talks about bat viruses and epidemics, to stem cells, to even overseas work experience opportunities that students have done before. So really the works, you can pick and choose what interests you. I've been able to take part in 2 biology Olympiads, and I would advise new year 12s to take advantage of what the department offers in terms of talks, surgeries, so that's solidifying A-level content, Olympiads and volunteering opportunities, etc, etc. So, and also ask lots of questions. They're very happy to answer them, and if they don't know, they'll pass you on or they'll send you a link. But also in terms of future, lots of biology facilitated degrees require applicants to take an entrance exam or have an interview, and both rely on the student having done some wider reading and also being able to demonstrate an interest in the subject outside of the A-level content, and all that the department offers can help with that, so you're really supported.
My top tips for starting biology next year are: number 1, try not to feel too overwhelmed. I know in the beginning it kind of just feels like an endless amount of information being thrown at you, but if you just take the time to read your notes just at the end of each lesson, then you definitely will find it becomes a lot more manageable, especially for revising for end of topic tests as well as ultimately your end of year exams. Number 2, ask questions. Literally, teachers are so happy to go over things again, either during a lunchtime or email you with resources and things you can look at. So definitely ask questions if you don't understand, because if you don't and you leave it too late, then it just gets more complicated and harder as you go on. And number 3, use SharePoint. There's literally an endless supply of, past paper questions, revision resources, videos, Moodle quizzes, things for you to structure your revision, and it's just so helpful. So definitely utilize it and make the most of it, because it's definitely what's going to help you do well and practice your exam technique for your proper A-levels.
I'd also give one other piece of advice, and that is to do the independent study, because actually that's the way that you're going to improve as a biologist. The time in class is for learning, but you need to consolidate your learning as much as you can, and doing that in the independent study periods is crucial. But there's so many different ways you can do that to make it varied. You can meet up with your friends and have a go at some Moodle quizzes, or you can work through a scientific article. It doesn't all have to be A-level related, but as long as you're keeping your knowledge ticking over, I think that's probably my biggest piece of advice.
My advice for next year's Year 12s is that since there's a lot of content in biology, I suggest you try and stay on top of your work throughout the year and you'll be alright.
So you'll hear this from pretty much anybody that you talk to at Hills Road, but the best piece of advice that I could give you is to get organised and stay organised from the start. Having clear revision notes is a really important part of the process, and trust me, you'll thank yourself later on. The other thing is that it's really important not to forget to enjoy your A-levels while you're doing them. Your A-levels are really short. It's only 2 years. I'm already halfway through and it feels like I just started yesterday. So while you're here and while you're doing your A-levels, really take the time to enjoy your subject, and especially in biology. If there's something that interests you, then go ahead and learn more about it. It's what you're here for, and it really makes the subject so much better.
My advice for New Year 12s is to keep on top of your notes. Obviously there's lots of content in biology, but it's not unmanageable as long as you stay on top of it. So for me, after every topic, I collect and sort my notes. I make revision cards for each topic, which means that when I come to revise for exams, all my notes are there in a form that I can revise easily off, and I don't get stressed at all. Yeah, that's it.
Hopefully you found this video useful. I'm sorry we cannot be there to interact with you in real life. I know I liked it when I went to open day and I had someone to tell me all this stuff. I'm sorry you don't get the chance to do that, and that's why me and my other classmates are making those videos for you, and hopefully you found them useful.